Ever feel like the language of the corporate world is a whole different game? Knowing the right phrases can make all of the difference. Now, in this video, I'm going to share 7 work-related idioms and informal expressions commonly heard in the corporate world and that are essential for sounding fluent and professional in any office setting. So whether you're in a meeting with your boss, you're sitting in the office, or just chatting with a colleague over a coffee, here are 7 common expressions you'll hear in a British workplace. Stick around and you'll be surprised how quickly these phrases can elevate your British English. Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to this lesson on business English. For those of you who are new, my name is Roy Woodhouse, and I've spent nearly 15 years teaching English to professionals from all over the world. Now, I'm a British native English teacher, and I mainly teach things related to a modern British RP accent and all things connected to British English. And today, I'm here to help you master phrases that can really set you apart in the workplace. And by the way, one of my personal favorites is the expression that comes last. It's an expression that I've seen business leaders use to command attention in many meetings. And trust me, it's worth knowing. But before that, let's dive into the first one. Let's start with in the loop, to be in the loop. Now, you'll hear this in almost every office, and it basically means to be informed. It means to stay informed and involved in decision making. Now, you might say, please keep me in the loop on the progress of the project. In other words, please keep me informed on how the project is progressing. It basically shows that you want to stay engaged with the process. It's simple, but incredibly useful in everyday business conversations. Number 2, pencil in. Pencil in is what you say when you want to tentatively schedule something. So you're very roughly scheduling something. Maybe it could be the time of a meeting. So you could say, let's pencil in our meeting for next Friday. Using pencil in shows flexibility and it leaves room for changes if necessary. And it probably comes from this idea that using the pencil, you can always rub out what you've written, but with pen, it's a little bit more permanent. So it means to tentatively schedule. Number 3 is snowed under, to be snowed under. If you're ever overwhelmed with work, if it's getting too much, then this is the perfect idiom for you. Snowed under. It means that you are buried in tasks. You've got so much work, or you are incredibly busy. So you could say, I'm just snowed under with work today. It's a professional way to say you're incredibly busy without sounding too stressed. So we're nearly halfway through, and these expressions are already great tools for helping you with office communication. But the final one really does pack a punch, in my opinion, when you want to sound polished in meetings. And of course, if you do really want to improve your English and your British English in general, then every Thursday, starting next Thursday, I will be teaching a free live class. It's free, it's live, and it's here on YouTube. Now, there is an exclusive WhatsApp group that you can also join for free. And there you can do things like vote on the next class. We can basically suggest ideas. So if you want to watch those free lessons and have a choice on what's being taught, check out the link in the description below. But now it's time for number 4, a cheeky one. This is to pull a sickie. A sickie basically means to pretend to be sick to avoid work. If you pull a sickie, you are basically pretending that you're ill, that you're not very well, you're unable to work, and that is just because you don't want to work or you've got something else that you want to do. It's really informal, but knowing this one will help you understand office banter. I can't believe he pulled a sickie yesterday. I ended up with so much of his work. Basically, it means that my colleague took a day off by faking an illness. So this is to pull a sickie. Number 5 is something that my wife is incredibly guilty of. It is to talk shop. Talk shop basically means discussing work-related topics outside of the office. So when your day at work has finished, somebody may be still talking about work and you say, oh, just stop talking shop. So you might say, oh, we ended up talking shop the whole night. That's something you might hear, for example, after a work event. You have a work event, then you maybe go to the pub and you end up still talking about work. To talk shop. So it's basically to talk about your job with the people that you work with when you're not at work. Number 6 is something you definitely want to avoid, and that is a slap on the wrist. It basically refers to a mild reprimand. In other words, you're being told off for something, but it's a kind of light telling off. It's used when somebody makes a small mistake that's not too serious, and maybe your boss has a word and gives you a slap on the wrist. It's not incredibly serious, but it is a little bit of a telling off or a reprimand. He got a slap on the wrist for missing the deadline, but there were no major consequences. In other words, he didn't lose his job. So the final expression is one that business bosses use all the time to show that they're prepared and in control. Ready? Up to speed is one of the best idioms to use in meetings. It means to be fully informed and ready to contribute. So in other words, up to speed means completely informed, fully aware, and has this idea of being prepared. For example, let's get everyone up to speed before we start. It's a professional way to ensure that everybody understands what's happening. In other words, everybody's on the same page. Another great expression. It means that you're all at the same level of understanding. That one can be a real game changer in business communication. So those are 7 corporate idioms and informal expressions that can boost your fluency and confidence in any work environment. Which one stood out to you? Drop a comment down below and let me know. And remember that every Thursday, I'm going to be teaching that free live class. There is a link about it where you can vote on the class, learn more about it, suggest topics. If you want to join that, the link is down below. And if you found this lesson helpful, please don't forget to subscribe and do give it a like, as it really does help the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next lesson.